he likes. I am too determined, yeah, I'm gonna get mine. Now listen on my women, work and stay on your grind. Listen on my women, work and stay on your grind. Life is short, you should spoil yourself. 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 Spoiled Latina, na 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 na. Spoiled Latina, na 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 na. Spoiled Latina, na 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 na. Spoiled Latina. Taking over the world. Yeah, we know who on this, it's just me and my girls. Now listen on my women, work and stay on your grind. Listen on my women, work and stay on your grind. Life is short, you should spoil yourself. 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 Spoiled Latina, na 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 na. Spoiled Latina, na 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 na. Spoiled Latina, na 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 na. Spoiled Latina. Dime lo que aprenda, neta. Me pongo bonita, me pongo coqueta.
Margarita for you.
Oh, thank you.
I know you like it. So, at the peak of your career, are you looking forward to getting married, having kids? Is this like too premature right now, this question?
No, not at all. I think it's funny, my mom, someone interviewed my mom for like a piece that they were doing on me and my life, and they asked my mom, you know, what's one of your daughter's biggest goals? She's like, believe it or not, has nothing to do with the industry. It has to do with her as a woman. And my mom said I came out the womb a mother. I've always been so connected to children. I'm the oldest of 4 kids. I used to consider my siblings my own children, although my therapist was like, that's not good, honey. I was like, okay. I don't refer to them as my kids anymore, but they're like my little chickens. So one day I'll have little chickens of my own. And it's a definite for sure. And I've been with my boyfriend Sebastian now for 5 years, and and it's been so beautiful. He's my best friend, and I think that, you know, part of our culture is like, oh, ¿cómo se casan? And it's just like, ooh, chill. I'm only 24. You know, I'm still learning so much about myself, and with a healthy relationship and with a great partner, I think there's still so much more to discover, but it's definitely in the plans, for sure.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to see little Becky's running around. Okay, so we've been talking about mental health a lot during these sessions. How important is it for you to seek mental health therapy? And you just mentioned you go to a therapist, so how important is it for you to speak to someone and just let your emotions out and learn the science behind it, you know, how to feel better?
Yeah, I mean, I believe in the mind, body, and soul. That's actually why I named Tres Luces. The number 3 is a lucky number for me. It's a spiritual number that represents those 3 things. And I remember walking into my very first therapy session and just crying from relief of just being in that room. Wow, I've made it. I'm here. And there's something really comforting about hitting rock bottom, because you know it can't get any worse. But it's also very dark and really scary. And sometimes we're born into situations, and sometimes our parents are born into situations, and our grandparents are born into situations. That's what they call generational cycles, right? And so when we don't know any better, it's important that we seek help outside of that. And I know in our culture it's very taboo, you know? My grandma would be like, oh, you have to be loca to go to a psychiatrist or a therapist. It's like, no. The mind, body, and soul is like a 3-leg table, right? So if we had a table with those 3 legs, if not all 3 of them are there and strong, the table can't hold anything. It can't stand. And that's the foundation of our experience here on this earth, you know, is the mind, body, and soul. All of them have to be aligned and all of them have to be connected. And I think I spent so much of my life performing, putting on the show, doing the dance, singing the song, that I forgot like what it was to just be a human. Yeah. And so getting that help really has allowed me to differentiate who I am as a young businesswoman, who I am as a partner to my boyfriend, who I am as a daughter, who I am as a sister, and then who I am without any of those things. You know? And I think that's actually when you really discover like self-intimacy and you learn how to be alone, which I don't know about y'all, I'm afraid of the dark. I'm still working on it. But it's those little things of learning to be alone and how to self-soothe and cope in healthy ways. And so, yeah, I'm a huge advocate for it, and I think that it's something we should be talking about more, for sure.
I believe so too. What's one thing that you love about yourself?
One thing that I like about myself?
Like, what's your favorite thing about yourself?
That I don't take myself.
We criticize ourselves.
Oh, 100%.
So what is your most favorite thing about you?
It's funny because I want to say that I don't take anything too seriously, but I totally do. Everything stresses me out. Everything needs to be perfect. I'm studying things. I guess that I'm a lover. You know, I think it's hard to believe that only at 24 years of age I've experienced so much heartbreak in various different aspects of my life. Not just romantic relationships, just in a personal and business way. And I feel so blessed to love the way that I do. Even through it all, I feel like I love harder, actually, when shit hits the fan, which is crazy. But yeah, I think I love that about me, that I'm a lover. I don't believe in fighting fire with fire.
You should never fight fire. It just grows bigger. The fire grows bigger.
Yeah.
It's just never ending, I guess, if you put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So you're young, you are super influential. What are you doing aside from music and creating this amazing music that we all love and dance to share with your community that you love them? Like, what are you doing out in LA that young girls can aspire to be like or go to?
I think it starts with ourselves, like even just how we are within our own 4 walls, and then it starts to bleed out from that. I work in a global industry, right? Music is global, it's international, it's a universal language. And now with social media, it's made that world so much smaller, but I think just as important as the global aspect of what I do is, the local aspect of what I do is just as, if not more important, because that's that hand-to-hand combat. That's that human connection that, you know, through Instagram filters we can't get sometimes. And so, locally speaking, I'm an LA girl, proud to be it, got it tatted and everything, from Inglewood. But even being here, like feeling the local love here in Houston, like Texas has always shown me so much love. And I feel really blessed every time I come here, I'm so welcomed. And the food is great, the drinks are great too.
She said eventually she's gonna have a home here.
I do, I wanna have a house in Texas.
Houston.
In Houston, why not?
Yeah. Well, we are the most multicultural city in America.
I do know this.
So you're more than welcome to move on down. Your soul and your energy is so contagious. Just having dinner with you last night, it was magical hearing how wise you are beyond your years. You're an old soul, and the things that you speak about kind of opened my eyes a lot. How do you stay so positive? Was it something that you were brought up around, or is it something that you just like, I'm gonna be different? And so what was that sparked that out of you?
I guess it's a mix of things.
Okay.
I think for myself and my family, maybe a lot of us here, who come from minority communities can really relate to what it is to survive. I think positivity is definitely a defense mechanism for me. And sometimes that's a great thing, and it's got me through a lot of things, and then sometimes it's kind of been my greatest weakness, to always look at the glass half full, not half empty, because as a businesswoman, not every opportunity is the right opportunity. And I think there's a lot of power in that, to know your self-worth, to know what it is that you have to offer. And sometimes when opportunity would come my way, I'd be like, well, this is great, I gotta do it. But maybe in reality, if I stopped being such a positive Patty about it, I could see this opportunity for what it really is, and maybe I'm cutting myself short. You know, maybe the timing isn't right. And so making sure that the positivity isn't toxic positivity, which I learned is a real thing. I was like, what do you mean me toxica? No way. Nah, no way. And it's like, no, there's such thing as toxic positivity. Sometimes life just has to be shit. And you just gotta sit in that and know what it's like to be uncomfortable, because iron sharpens iron, you know? And so sometimes it's hard for me not to be like, yeah, pain, it's great. It's like, oh my God, it's so painful. Yeah, so it's, you know, it's a process.
We all go through ups and downs, but it's the way you present yourself and you showcase, and then the feeling that you put out into other people. So you make
100%.
people feel real. You make people feel comfortable, and I thank you for that. Just watching you from afar, I'm like,
thank you so much.
Little girl. I say little because I'm old.
You girl, you are not. Can we just admire how beautiful she looks today?
No, let's admire these boxes.
Hey.
Tell us about your dresses. How did the name come about? What is this about?
Oh, I get so excited to talk about Tresluce because I always say, oh no, not another celebrity makeup brand. And everyone's like, eh. But it's actually a real passion project for me. I think it takes people back just how involved I am, including my partners. They're always like, what do you mean we have to wait till she's back in town? We have product deadlines. And I'm like, I gotta be there. Yeah, so it's been a process, but I did my glam today, I did my hair, I did my makeup. I love it. I've been obsessed. I've been doing my own hair and makeup on the road since I was, you know, very, very young. I think some of my earliest memories with makeup are like me going into my mom's makeup bag and her just letting me have at it. I loved it so much. And when I was 15, I was the youngest cover girl. And it was crazy. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Queen Latifah, Sofia Vergara, like it was massive. And I learned so much in those couple of years that I was a cover girl, and then, you know, some time went by, I wasn't really in that space, but I was still practicing it behind closed doors. And then the opportunity to collaborate with ColourPop came about. And so I learned how to get creative in creating my own concepts and my own names and color palettes and things like that. And eventually, I feel like there's a moment when the student becomes a teacher. You know, you've learned enough, you feel confident enough, you believe in yourself enough. I knew what product development looked like. I've been to the factories, you know, making sure ingredients are what they really are. No fraud here. We're all about transparency at Tresluce. And so finally I was just like, I think it's time. And I think that it's also important that I own it.
Yeah.
Because ownership for us is really important.
Yes.
I didn't want to be the face of something for someone anymore that doesn't look like me.
Yeah.
You know? I think that's like that was crucial.
Yeah.
Crucial for me. And it's a space that, although it's very popular and there's a lot going on, I don't know about y'all, but I love makeup so much I can't have enough of it. And so I was like, no, I believe in our moral compass as a company enough that we will start small, but it's a long game. And so I'm on every call. I'm the test dummy for a lot of our projects. And
As you should be, because you want to know the texture, the look,
everything,
the color, how it feels.
The payoff, and also too, I'm so proud that we're a clean brand. We're all about sustainability. A lot of our products are created. They're, you know, to me, what should be standard, vegan friendly, cruelty free. Latina owned. We collaborate, we highlight other Latinx artists. So all of our artwork is done done by different Latinx artists. The first one being Monica Loya, she's actually from Mexico. And that was special because in the formula of our eyeshadow palette is blue agave from Jalisco, Mexico, where my family's from. So it's very rooted for me, very rooted, and the name even, number 3.
It seems like a passion project.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, and I think too, you know, I think when we talk about the future and things like that, I do music because I love it, but, and I do makeup because I love it too, but I think the young business and woman in me wants to also know that when that day comes, when I want to really lean into my wifey duties, not that I don't already, oh my god, it's a lot. But when I become a mom, you know, and I'll have my own company that doesn't rely on what I'm doing musically, but it's its own thing. Yeah, I think it's great. It's more of a we thing than a me thing, you know. Because if it was a me thing, I would have named it Becky G Cosmetics, and it's nah.
Well, it's ours.
It's ours.
We support, so it belongs to us too, because she's one of us.
Yes.
Okay, so I have to wrap it up. What? 10 minutes.
Oh my god.
10 more minutes. No, there's so many more questions. Okay, so actually, let's do something really special really quick. Because I know that somebody here has something for you. We're going to do that, and then we'll get back into our conversation.
Okay,
yes?
yeah.
Okay, so before I go into this, you guys follow Tres Luce on Instagram.
Yes,
We're giving away these 2 PR boxes today.
It's not every day.
Okay, so I'm going to bring up Ashley Turner. Ashley Turner is the mayor's daughter, the mayor of Houston. And we have something for you.
I'm so great.
So I have something for you, and I'm hoping that it's a nudge when you try to figure out where you want to live in Texas. It'll be a great way to think of Houston. And so I'm not going to read all of it because it's quite a bit, but I will do a couple of lines. But the city of Houston is dependent on the dedication of individuals who seek to enhance the quality of life for all. Singer, songwriter, actress, and activist Becky G exemplifies this character by utilizing her talents and story to inspire others. On July 31st, 2021, Becky G will be a Keynote Honoree for the 6th annual Spoiled Latina Day. Let me see. The city of Houston commends and appreciates Becky G for serving as an inspiring role model for Latina women and extends best wishes for continued success. Therefore, I, Ashley Turner, on behalf of Sylvester Turner, Mayor of the City of Houston, hereby proclaim July 31st, 2021 as Becky G Day in the city.
About O'Bara Street in LA. It's on YouTube. It's really funny. But my first studio film was Power Rangers, and it changed my life completely, for sure.
How did you feel when you got booked?
It was surreal. I also, you know, the reason why I think I say it changed my life wasn't because of the role itself, but the opportunity that it was, because I moved away from my family for the first time. I was 18 when I got, you know, called to be Trini, the Yellow Power Ranger, the first Latina superhero. I was like, what? But I really needed it in my life because I was at a really dark place in my musical career. Nothing was really happening. I was signed to really bad contracts and I just felt stuck. And I was like, yo, Diosito, please, whatever you have planned, I hope it's great. I'm gonna trust in you. And this role came about and I moved away and I was on my own. I was single, not ready to mingle. I was focused. And then I fell in love. And it was just one of those things where like life just happens when you're not forcing anything. I started co-directing my music videos after that movie because I became obsessed with like cameras and how they work and what lens is this and what do you mean when camera's on sticks and all these random little things. I was obsessed. So it was I think something that really fueled my creativity for sure.
What is the best advice you've ever been given that you actually put into action?
One of my favorite quotes is, "Don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game." Seva's version of that is, you miss 100% of the shots you never take.
Yeah.
So I just apply that to my life. Even if I fail, that is part of success. And second to that would be to take care of yourself. You know, I take so much pride in being able to be there for others and help others. But it wasn't until I wasn't okay that I realized I couldn't do that anymore. So really practicing what you preach. You know, be a good person and be good to yourself first. Because when you're good, it allows you to see the good in others as well.
Definitely. Okay, so you're doing movies, like I said, you're doing makeup. What is it that you see yourself doing in 5 years?
Oh, that's a loaded question. I don't even know what I'm going to do tomorrow. Oh, I do know what I'm doing tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Mexico, USA.
Viva Mexico!
Yo, it's a safe circle here, right?
Yes.
I'm a Mexico fan. And so my man asked me, he's like, I called it. Since the beginning of the Copa de Oro, I was like, babe, I know it's going to be Mexico, US. I'm just calling it now. And said, my heart's going to break because I'm be so torn, you know? He goes, who you rooting for? I'm like, we're not doing this right now. I said, I'm rooting for you, but not USA, you know? But of course, I'm a fan of the name on the jersey, not the jersey itself, you know. Vanessa knows too, our man can be one team today and another team tomorrow, and we just support them no matter what. So of course I'm gonna root for my man. But
Chicharito.
Yes, viva!
Okay, you want to take a sip?
yes, I
Need
do.
a sip too.
Cheers! Thank you guys.
Cheers to Becky G's proclamation. Yeah, welcome to Houston.
Yeah, I'm about to chug this thing.
Any realtors? We gotta find our house.
Yes!
Okay, Becky, so what advice would you give to young, aspiring artists? You started off very young. You're still super young. You have a long ways to go in your career. But what advice would you give to someone who is looking to be a global superstar like yourself?
One, have patience. It's not as easy as it looks. Two, representation. Who you surround yourself with is just as important as who you are. My grandma would always tell me, show me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. So don't get lost in the sauce, and do things the way you want to do them. And I use that as an example because a lot of people like to say, Becky G, you know, you used to do singing in the shower and then you went all sexy and stuff, and I don't know how I feel about that. And I would say, you know, I was empowered. I was empowering myself. And when I choose to go there, it's because I choose to go there, not because someone else tells me to. And there's been times when people told me to and I didn't want to and I didn't do it. And so making sure that you're doing things for yourself and that you're not falling to the pressures of other people or what you think society wants you to be is also crucial. And then also representation legally. I think that's also very important. You know, I can shout out to, you know, my legal team and all of the situations that they've had to help me through and guide me through when I had questions, because the language of contracts, and this goes for all business women, this isn't just in the music industry, making sure you understand the language that you are reading. Asking for help is super important. It's okay not to know. There's no shame in that. But making sure you have good representation, I would say, is crucial. Very important.
What's your favorite brand shoe?
Anything that makes my little feet look cute. No, I mean, I'm such a LA girl. I love me a little Nike Cortez moment, but I'm also an Air Force girl, an everyday Air Force girl. But I guess just a cute sneaker. I'm not too married to anything. Yeah.
We don't get married.
No.
I love it all.
Yeah, I love all of it.
Sneakers.
Exactly.
So, are you looking to do a shoe line here later?
I mean, why not? Yeah, definitely. I like to think of having an empire, you know? And not just for me. I mean, creating a female force to be reckoned with empire that is so versatile. I've always felt like when I'm blessed with opportunity, it's then my responsibility to share that opportunity. And so even with Resluce, I'm very proud. All of our team is all females. A lot of women of different ethnicities who come from different places. Because I'm really big on representation and sharing that light. I think it's super important. So whether it's a fashion line, whether it's a shoe line, one day when I have kids, I might want to do a diaper line. Who knows? The possibilities are endless, y'all. We could do it all. We really can. There's no no's, you know?
Just keep going. And if you get a no, just keep knocking on the next door.
Exactly.
Someone's eventually going to say yes.
Yeah.
Just Alexa was saying, just keep asking, slide into those
Yeah.
DMs. Slide into those DMs. You never know.
You never know.
Okay, so you work with so many artists in the music world. Do you have somebody that you are looking forward to working with here soon? Or who is that one person that you're this is it, once I get this song, I'm done?
I mean, I don't know what I'll ever be done. I'm gonna be a little viejita. I'm what is this? I'll be like Vicente Hernandez. I'm not gonna know I'll retire and then I'm going on tour again. Oh man, Tío Chente. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I saw him in concert and it was a literal spiritual experience. I cried so much. Does anyone else feel like that's your abuelito? You know him? You know, if you saw him, you're like, hey Tío, what's up? I wouldn't tell him that actually. I would not. What's up? No. You'd be like, okay.
You're so silly. No, you would be like, come on.
No, I think he'd probably regañarme. Probably. He'd be like, oh, I'm proud of you, but what's up with your lyrics? Well, can we just acknowledge how amazing Spoiled Latina is? Honestly, at first I was Spoiled Latina? ¿Quién se cree? ¿Quién se cree Spoiled Latina? No, really, I think it's important. It's so important. The branding behind even just that, what that means. We were talking about this last night. I know for me, my abuelitas, my mom, my tias, it's always we're the last ones to eat. We're the last ones to be asked if we're okay. We're the last ones to be checked on. You good, you know? ¿Qué necesitas? We're always the ones giving. And so growing up, I never considered any of the women around me to even be able to be taken care of or spoiled, you know? And it's great because now we're creating a safe space, right? It's a safe space for all of us, where we can allow our self-worth to be yeah, actually, I can spoil myself, why not? You know, I can take care of myself, why not? It's important, it's definitely important, and my way of doing that is therapy, working out. You know, I hate it, oh my God, I hate it so much. Everybody's like, oh, I love it. No, I really don't. But I love what it does for me, because I feel like everything else that I do, it feels like, I love it, but it's for a lot of other people, and that's a lot, but no one else benefits from a healthy body but you. And it doesn't have to look, healthy is not a look. Healthy is a feeling, it's a feeling. So for me, therapy is how I spoil myself, working out is how I spoil myself, and food. Food makes me so happy. Yeah, so I'd say those three things.
Tacos and tequila. So how is having a good team around you, what does that feel like for you? Like, what does that mean to you? What is a good team in Becky's eyes?
Yeah. I'm about loyalty. I'm really big on loyalty. And I've been with my same managers, Mark and Ben, since I was 13. They're like fathers to me. And they have really done so much to protect me from things, but also reflect things to me, my own self, when I would be getting in my own way. You know, I think it's important that you surround yourself with real people, not a bunch of like yes man people, because you'll never grow. Like the biggest thing for me is our evolution as individuals is through relationships, and not just romantic relationships, but family relationships, business relationships. And if you surround yourself with people who only say yes to you and to your face, but behind closed doors, like, no, she's crazy, or I don't necessarily agree. I think those uncomfortable conversations are important. So surrounding yourself with real people who can say what they really think and collaborate on those things is super important. And I feel very blessed, because Lord knows it's not easy. It's very, very hard. But a good team, it takes a village, you know. Behind Becky G is my entire family, is them, you know, Mark, Ben, the rest of my internal team. And if I didn't have them, you know, I really wouldn't be where I am today. Yeah.
At the top of the music game, you mean?
I'm not about the top.
You're there, girl. What inspires you? Who motivates you?
I guess it's a bunch of different things. I would say women in general. Yeah, I think women are so incredible. The everyday woman too. Like the everyday woman. Like my mom took so much pride in being like a stay-at-home mom, full-time mom. And so, you know, that was one of the hardest jobs. It's 24/7. There's no clocking out of that. You know, and just seeing the strength in that was just so inspiring to me. So I would say that definitely inspires me. As well as having a very dedicated and hardworking partner. It's a lot to keep up with.
Somebody supports you?
It's a lot to keep up with, but I would not be pushing myself if I didn't see my partner pushing himself. You know, he's so supportive. He is, you know, I don't know if I expected that from a Latin man, you know, being like, ooh, that's my girl, get it, mama. Like, no, on the contrary, I thought he'd probably be a little celoso, you know, like, you better not be dancing with so-and-so at the video or whatever. Nah, he's like so proud, so about it. And I'm really thankful for that. I think that really inspires me too, just knowing that you're doing life with someone, not for someone, is very powerful. Yeah.
So what does being sexy mean to you, Becky?
It's a feeling. It's like an essence thing. Because there's days where I'm in my sweats, my hair's up, and I feel sexy. And then there's other days where like I'm on stage and I'm dancing and I'm like, ooh, I'm not feeling too hot right now, you know? It's a feeling for sure. But I think just being me, you know, even sometimes being goofy makes me feel sexy because that's just who I am.
How do you get yourself out of a bad day? What do you do?
Just let yourself have the day.
Yeah.
That's how I get out of it. Like validating your own feelings. I think so much of our experience as young women is we're conditioned to like, how much pain can you bear? The more pain you can endure, the stronger you are. It's like, no, that's not how we should be teaching our youth, our women especially. And so when you're having a day, let yourself have it. Have at it, take your time, you know, but there's a difference of letting yourself have the day, validating your emotions, and then have a pity party. And I don't do pity parties. I do solutions.
Yeah.
You know,
What's the solution?
what's the solution? So practicing things like writing in a journal. Sometimes there's a circus going on in here, and when I write it down, I'm like, oh, it's only 3 bullet points. Okay, it's actually not that bad. But anxiety and depression are a real thing, and it causes this alphabet soup in here. Yeah, remember when Grandma make fideo, like with the little like alphabet? Yeah, the little ABCs, like it's real.
So, favorite city you go to?
I mean, I gotta say, Houston, I have a whole day here. A whole day. I cannot believe that. I just said that out loud. That's crazy. It's a real thing. Yeah, I would totally say Houston. I mean, besides my home of LA, yeah. Visiting, I would say Houston. It's always been so welcoming. One of my fondest memories here is Houston Rodeo. I cried so much after that show, y'all. Oh my goodness. It was like such a relief. It was a moment I was on the little tropita, you know, and I was like waving to everyone. I was like, this is so young. Yeah. And I remember once no one could see me anymore, I just like broke down into tears. Yeah, it was wild.
It was a proud cry, right?
Oh, it was like a good cry. Like ugly good cry. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, it felt good.
So, what was the first city that you traveled to outside the United States, and how did you feel?
What was it? I feel like my first, I grew up visiting Mexico a lot as a little girl. My grandparents on my dad's side are from Tenamaslán, Jalisco, and it's like legitimate, like little tiny pueblito. There's one church, one communications computer office. Like no one has internet. It's a real thing out there. And so I would grow up going there all the time, and I'd milk the cows and pluck the chickens and stuff. I loved it. So anything that has to do like farm, I mean, that's why I love Texas so much. So I'm starting to make sense now. But I remember going to Europe for the first time, getting like official like stamp on my passport, and that was addicting. I was like, ooh, how many stamps can I get on my passport? Yeah.
So aside from Houston, where you've been to Paris?
I've been to Paris, yeah.
Were you in love in Paris?
I was. So my first time in Paris, Seb's first time in Paris too, was us two together. It was the cutest thing. I follow him everywhere. I sound like a stalker. I follow him everywhere. But it's hard when you have a partner who, for me, I work for myself. So it's easier for me to say, hey, I need these 2 days. But he's a part of a moving machine of a team. So when he calls up for the national team, he sometimes goes to different parts of the world. And I remember I was like, yo, we've never really gotten to travel together. I'm following you, and I'm gonna meet you in London. And he used to live in London, so he got to show me around, and it was beautiful. And he's like, it's just a train away to Paris. Should we go to Paris? I was like, yes, of course. So we went.
That sounds like a movie.
It was. It was also really cute because we didn't have a plan. So we got there early in the morning, and we're walking. It's like a full day at Disneyland. Your legs start hurting. We didn't have a hotel. We didn't have anything. So we're falling asleep on each other, random coffee shops. We're like, okay, the next train is when we're gonna leave, because we don't want to leave just yet. And it was one of my favorite memories of ours for sure.
So sweet. Okay, guys, we're gonna have to wrap it up. Becky's gotta go. You ready to leave? Or you want 5 more minutes?
Girl, I can talk.
No, let's do this. Let's take some questions from the audience.
Yes.
Hands up. Who wants to ask? Okay.
I'm getting married in October.
Congratulations.
I'm a singer too, so I'm going to perform.
Okay.
How do you prepare the day of to sing it? It's my first time doing it in front of my family.
Congrats.
How do you prepare the day of before you sing?
How do you prepare?
I like to practice moments of solidarity where I imagine what this moment is going to look like. And I really try to be present and see what that's going to feel like and get familiar with that. I do it before every performance, actually. What I want it to look like, I just really try to imagine it. Because your body doesn't know the difference of when it's really happening versus when we're doing it in our head. So when we're playing out all these crazy scenarios, of course it's going to feel crazy once we get up there. But practice those moments of solidarity and really imagine and feel what that's going to feel like. Because when you get there, you'll really be able to be present in that moment. And it's going to be so beautiful.
I tell my son that all the time. I'm like, you gotta imagine yourself, making making the basket in the shop.
Yeah, I actually learned that from Sebastian. I catch him sometimes we'll be cuddling and I see him with his eyes closed and he's doing this. I'm like, what are you thinking about? He's like, oh, just this goal that I really want to make. I'm like, I love that. I mean, close my eyes thinking like empanadas and stuff. What do you think about?
Yeah, it's super important to visualize.
It is.
Your life.
Yeah, it's about
You
manifestation.
being there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Giselle, and where is one place in the world where you haven't been to but you want to go to?
Me and Sal, I really want to go to Italy. Yeah, Italy's one of those places. He's half Italian, so it'd be so cool to go. Yeah, eat some pasta.
Another question? Yes.
I love your Nasala podcast. Any chance that's coming back?
Okay, so I'm working on a very big project that I can't disclose just yet, but it's massive. And it's something that's been on my, I don't want to say like vision board, but on my list of goals. And it has to do with the same essence of what Enasala was for me, but focusing on who the partner is really important to me. Like I said, creating, having a seat at the table is really important to me. So I just closed a really big deal and it has something really special coming.
Closing big deals. How many of us want to close big deals? Let's do it, you guys. Let's do it. Any other questions? Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
I feel like you can't do it all yourself. You need somebody who believes in you, your brand. No, I know, we can't do it. I've tried. I'm sure you've tried.
Yeah.
It's so important to trust somebody with your brand and you have that loyalty reciprocated back.
Yeah.
But you just gotta do it. There's an M and an E in team, so
Yeah.
you're included.
Yeah, of
But there's
course.
still, you still need to have that help. Otherwise, they can come back to you and ask you a question like, hey, it's okay. But just let them do it. You've gotta.
Yeah, I would also say something that's really important is if they can contribute to what you already bring.
Yeah.
So that allows me to trust and let go when I know that the person on the other side knows me, knows what I stand for, right? Because I'm my brand. But if I was talking about on behalf of Tres Luce, right? I'm part of it, but it's not all of me. A lot of the women that I've selected in power positions, our brand manager, head of product development, making sure that they're individuals who know what the brand pillars are and live that themselves, like live by that themselves. You have, although different perspectives, the same goal. And that allows me to just be like, you know what, maybe not the way I would have done it, but I actually kind of like it. I would have never thought about it that way. And I think so someone who contributes is really important because we'll have cheerleaders all day. When you got something good, you can see it from a mile away. People are going to tell you how much they believe in you, and that's beautiful. But if they can't contribute to that, I think that's really, you have to be aware of that. So maybe just look for partners who contribute to what you already bring to the table. Because there's going to be times when maybe you can't make it to the table, because other life things are calling. And so it's important to be able to trust those individuals for sure.
One more question. Okay.
Hello. You're so beautiful and amazing. It's awesome. What is the biggest advice that you have given for your mom and dad? You're so close to them. What is the biggest thing they have to tell you on your career and that you're doing now?
I guess the biggest takeaway is just how authentic they've been, like even in difficult times. I wouldn't be working in the industry if it wasn't for one of what I thought was the worst things that happened to us, which is when we lost our home. I was 9 years old and we lived in my grandparents' converted garage for about 3 years, and it was all 6 of us in a garage that was about the size of this stage. And my parents were so honest that it's not the house that makes the home, it's the people. And so when I think of my business, it's not just a business, it's a family. And it's not the amount that we make at the end of the day that makes the business, it's our hearts, it's our passion. You know, and so I've been able to apply that to my career now. And I feel like even on the hardest days, I don't lose sight of what's at the end of that, because that's what gets me through. So I think that for sure has been one of the greatest things that I've learned from my family. Is it's not the house that makes the family. It's that makes the home. Sorry, it's the people. It's the family. Yeah.
The love.
The love for sure.
Well, we love you.
I love you guys. I love you. Thank you so much.
Good, Becky G, guys. Thank you. Y'all can stand up and dance.